exactly 11 a.m. now, so perfect
Perfect.
timing.
That's
Okay, well,
great.
thanks for chatting with me this morning. I got your book early, so thanks so much for sending it to me early. I got it on Sunday and I was done with it by Wednesday, and I like immediately went on and wrote my review. It was really good. I loved it so much. It was a page turner, like definitely chapter 1 like sucked you in, and then I even gave the book to my husband after I was done reading it, and he read chapter 1 in like 30 minutes, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that should be a movie, like the Haiti earthquake story. Like that would be so
Yeah.
good." I'm like, "I told you you'd like it." So he's going to be finishing it soon too, but yeah, this is like such a great book. You were so like real and raw and gave so many like cool stories, and then I love that there's hope at the end as usual. So thanks so much for sending it, and I'm excited for other people to get their hands on it as well. So I have a question. So will you share with us the journey of knowing you'd someday adopt and working in Haiti and what you learned through that experience?
So I grew up in Michigan, and I just, I think it was in the 80s, they had these commercials all the time on television, right? And they would be like Save the Children kind of commercials. And they showed children in really bad situations in Africa. And I think it was probably mostly Africa. But it kind of just, I don't know, I got this mindset. Like, why would we have children if there are children who need parents? Why wouldn't we just do that, and be parents to children who don't have parents? And so, yeah, I was always interested in adoption. And my husband and I, we moved around a lot. So it took a while till we got situated in California and do the home study, all that jazz. I started going to Haiti, volunteering, kind of checking out what the situation would be like to adopt there, and learned a lot. Learned that each orphanage, we had one failed adoption. The other orphanage was super corrupt, stealing, the gifts that people were giving. Yeah, it was just bad situation after bad situation. And there were all these beautiful babies, and they just needed to be cared for. And so I knew we did not know how to have an orphanage in Haiti, but I knew we could give better care than anything I've seen at that point. And that's what we set out to do. And we did that for 8 years. And in the meanwhile, we set up a school. One school closed that we knew of. And so we set up another school with some of those same teachers and the headmaster, Alex, who's amazing. And my sister set up a medical clinic. But at some point, it just felt like, now I look at it as it's all just Band-Aids, not the education, but for sure the orphanage, this idea of like giving medical care when you can get doctors going down. I mean, it's needed, it's necessary, but ideally it would be better if patients could just pay for that themselves, and they felt empowered to take care of themselves and their families whenever they needed it, not waiting on some American doctors to get down there. So, so the earthquake happened, and I had fallen in love with this idea of microfinancing, giving women a small business loan so they could start their own businesses years before, but we were up to our eyeballs in just trying to fundraise and keep everything running well in Haiti. And so even a friend of mine who's on the board, Shannon, she's like, don't even talk to me about this right now. I'm like, but listen, it's so good. But the earthquake changed everything. Like overnight, the earthquake, it changed and created a lot of devastation. And, I met people who lost their whole families, and it was really awful. But out of that, also see that God can use those horrible, horrible moments, and there can be some beauty and light in that. And we were able to, in one day, bring home. So I went to Haiti just to check on the kids and the staff and see what the situation was there, make sure they were getting clean water, make sure they had a safe place to be. And yeah, we got a call, and if we were told if we were at the embassy by a certain time on a certain day, we could all take them all home, possibly. It was a possibly. I couldn't even believe it, because typically we worked for years to get adoptions processed. And, the idea that I can just go take them on a plane,
Yeah.
These 26 kids, really? But that's exactly what happened. It never even would have occurred to me to pray for it. One of the guys who was with me helping, he suggested that the night before we flew. We were all at a Cracker Barrel. He said, "How about we should pray that, God lets all the kids come home." And I was like, whatever. Like, it's ridiculous to even ask for.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happened. So it was a good lesson for me. And that really freed up space, because the orphanage was such, I didn't even realize how heavy of a burden it was until all of a sudden it was gone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because when you have kids that, legally were even in my care in Haiti, you can't just walk away from that. And so, so yeah. So overnight, the kids they were in the process of being adopted already. They had families connected to them that had home studies. And so they went and they finished their adoptions here in the United States and Canada. And it was just really miraculous, but that gave me that space. And I thought I would go into microfinancing and eventually do that. But I think God showed us another path, and he connected me with a friend, Holly, and she talked about direct sales. And then we were talking about like how cool it would be if we could do it in a way that created jobs for women all over the world. And basically that was the whole business. That was the mission of the business. And that's what we jumped in. Elizabeth, my daughter, and Chelsea, hers, and the four of us jumped in and kind of started working day and night, because it was so fun at that stage too. It was like so fun creating something and testing things out. And then we had women like you who said, yeah, I want to do it too. And that's just been such a gift. So.
That is so fun. And I got to visit your school in Haiti in 2018. I got to go on a vision trip with Trades of Hope, and we got to go to the school, and like you describe in the book, them in their cute little blue uniforms with the white bows. And I got like lots of pictures of that. So that was really fun to see, and like how that part got to keep going even. And
yeah.
So, and even going off of what you were saying, so I am the same age as your daughter, Elizabeth. I'm a couple months younger.
Okay.
28 next month. And so I joined Trades of Hope. I was a partner in 2017, June of 2017. So it's actually my 6-year Hope anniversary this month. But I was 21 and I had just graduated college. And something that has encouraged me is having another young woman like Elizabeth, my same age, like running alongside me, doing this work alongside me, and like being able to see her as someone like in position of leadership is really cool. And my mom has also been a really huge supporter of mine, of Trades of Hope, of my everything that I do. And then she's like a rock star, my best hostess ever since the beginning. And she's always like sharing my stories and stuff. So at first I want to say thank you for starting this company with 2 mom and daughter teams. Like that's really been like encouraging to me. And also like for continuing to do the work with your daughter in such a classy way as a mother-daughter team. And then second, I want to thank you for creating Trades of Hope in such a way that I, as a young woman, could get involved and make a tangible difference. And I had just learned in college about how, like I had just read When Helping Hurts, which you mentioned in the book. I read that for a college class. So I saw how sustainable business was really the key to ending global poverty and all of these issues. But also thank you for making Trades of Hope like a safe place that I could learn and grow as a young woman in business, and without having to start my own nonprofit, which is like daunting, seems like daunting, and then I didn't have to like spend a lot of money to do it. So I really love that. So then my question at the end of this is, are there things about my generation or the younger generation that give you hope for the future?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think the world as a whole, and especially your generation, is just becoming so much more aware of the power they have as consumers. Our dollars in North America have a huge impact on so many parts of the world. And that's how we can all be thoughtful. And I think your generation is just thoughtful and more aware in so many ways. And ethical fashion, fair trade, that's definitely key. And I just think it's amazing. I think my generation, and when we started Traits of Hope, there was still kind of this confusion too over, wait a minute, you're a for-profit business, but you say you're doing good. What?
Mm-hmm.
And really, people challenged us, especially like the women a little older than I was, who had been used to charity and what it used to always look like. And charity's good. Sometimes charities are needed, that's for sure. But I think that the world is evolving, and it is hopeful to see you and Elizabeth and other women your age really stepping up and making choices that aren't just about ourselves, that are about other people that we may never ever meet, but we just know that it's the right thing to do.
Being able to go meet them is a nice perk. That is
It
something
is.
that I love about it. So, okay, can you share a personal experience that made you believe in job creation?
Yes, this will be a story, Tawny, that you have heard many times, but to me is the most obvious. Like, we've seen it from the very beginning all the way through, and that transformation has been beautiful. Because we were on a vision trip, like you were just talking about, where I had a group of partners with me, and we were touring Papillon, the Haitian artisan group that we are, paired up with, and we love them and love what they're doing. Their cereal box bead bracelets. And so we're touring that, and Shelly's introducing us to some of the artisans, and these women are like vivacious, and they're like singing and they're talking and they're laughing, but there's one woman over in the corner, and Shelly kind of is a little quieter, and she said, yeah, she just started. Let me tell you the story. So as we moved out of there, she shared that Gina is her name, just started that morning, and she was timid. She was, she looked incredibly thin, not overly healthy, and she's really had separated herself from everybody. And she told the story that she had just met Gina. Gina had come to the gates of Papillon hoping that it was an orphanage, thinking it was an orphanage, and trying to drop off her daughter because she couldn't feed her anymore. And the guys at the gate said, no, this is an artisan group, whatever. Sent her on her way. Somebody tells Shelly this happened. So Shelly goes out in the street and she finds Gina and introduces herself. They talk. Shelly gives her the opportunity. Why don't you come and try, if this is something you want to do, working in the artisan group, and we'll get you started rolling some beads, cereal box beads. And Kristnalie actually can go in the daycare there, and she will be fed and taken care of while you're working. You can go check on her anytime, And Gina was brave enough to step up and say, yeah, okay, let's try that. And, it kept them together. But the amazing thing is, like, I don't know, maybe it was 2 years later almost, there had been a little bit of a gap. And I was back at Papillon, and I'm walking around with Shelly, and I'm like, hey, where's Gina? And she points to this woman over, about 12 feet away from us. And I said, no, Gina, remember with the Kristnalie, the baby? And she said, no, Gretchen, that's her. She looked totally different. It was a completely different woman. And so Gina sees we're talking about her, and she sees my like shock and awe going on. And Shelly tells Gina why. And Gina started laughing. She thought that was so funny. But, she gained some weight. She looked younger, healthier, vivacious. She was happy. She obviously had friends there in this loving environment. And so it was really a prime example. And if Shelly hadn't been there and hadn't cared enough to go find her, Gina would have found an orphanage. And unfortunately, this is still kind of a new concept in a lot of countries, like, let's get them working instead of taking the babies into an orphanage. I also understand when you're running an orphanage, sometimes you just got to keep going. It's like there's too much to take on. But that's why we need the Shelleys of the world. And that's why we need the Tawnys of the world to go sell the things
Yeah.
so that Gina can work
Mhm.
and keep Chris and Ellie in school, and that they can stay together and be, you know, mother and daughter forever. That's how it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
That's so good. Thank you.
Mhm.
So we're like almost at the end of the 15 minutes. So I just want to end with a question. So when readers engage with your book, what do you hope they take away from it? And what actions or changes do you want them to be inspired to pursue?
Mm. I would like for people to feel comfortable taking action. When they see something that really moves them, then, and we may not have all the answers of how to do everything down the line, taking small steps of action can lead to really, really cool, big things of
Mhm.
happening. I'm not saying being reckless or pretending you know everything when you don't. The small steps of action can lead you forward down a path you didn't even know existed. So there's that. And the other thing is, I kind of touched on that before, but realizing as consumers, we are very powerful with how we spend our dollars. And they can be used for good or they can be used for bad, right? So I like a good deal as much as anybody. I like, you know, finding treasures and so on and so forth
Mhm.
for good prices. But we really just need to remember that there are really healthy ways to do that, and our dollars can encourage bad behavior by some producers, or they can encourage, you know, great things like these artisan groups that we work with. So
Yeah, I totally agree. And I would hope that you want people to join me in this partnership, to link arms with me, and so that
yeah,
we can all work together as well, which it's made
yes.
very clear in the book that that's what you that's really what we want is an army of storytellers, an army of women that
Mm-hmm.
are rising up and raising our voices for these women. So, thanks so much for chatting with me. I can let you go because you probably have to get to your
Uh,
next one, but
well, thank you.
I can
Thank you
tell
so much,
everyone.
Tom.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
I just want to say you would be a great, you would be so fun to be on your team. So I hope that, you know,
Thanks.
more women join you in your efforts. Your heart is so sweet and you're tenacious and strong and just really a beautiful person. So thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
having me.
I'll let you go and I'll tell everyone when you get off and stuff where they can go grab the book and the deal, the promo we have going on
Okay.
today for it and all of that. So thanks so much and
Okay.
I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks, Tawny.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thanks so much for listening into all of that. So right here is her book. I had more questions for her, but I just 15 minutes. We didn't have lots of time, and she has other people to go interview with. But I got early access, so that's why I have the book now. But it released today on Amazon, so I'm gonna put the link in the description of this video so you can go shop it. For today only, they're doing a promo where this is on sale on Amazon for only $9.99. So $10 you can get this book and we'll pretty much pay you to buy it because you can text a screenshot of your Amazon purchase, your receipt. You can text that screenshot to our customer service team at Trades of Hope, and they will give you a $15 coupon to use in my Trades of Hope shop. So you'll have 30 that you can use that all the rest of this month. You'll have a $15 coupon. So you're literally getting paid to grab this book, and you really want to read this book. I am going to be doing something in my VIP group. Most likely, we're going to be doing a book club towards the end of the summer. So you can add this to your summer reading list, and then we can do a book discussion on it, and that will be so much fun. It was honestly a quick read. Like, there's pictures in here, there are actionable steps in here as well. It's not all just her memoir, like telling stories. She also gives like insights and things on how you can make reflections, how you can think about ways that what God might be calling you to do, ways that you can get involved and like figuring out your manifesto and all of that, which like sounds really complex, but it's actually really fun and simple. And of course, I'm going to be gifting this to people. I'm going to be stocking this in my markets and selling it, because lots more people need to hear these stories. I learned so much more about Gretchen. I learned about even her husband and more about Elizabeth and stuff like that, and why they have so much passion for this work even this many years later. And you can see like she's very personable. I like Trades of Hope seems like it's such a big company, but we also feel so small in that we know like our home team members, we know our founders, like they know us personally. Like she literally was just texting me in preparation for this, and then she knows me personally. Like that's so cool. So it really will show you from the inside, like if you're looking for an organization to partner with that is full of integrity and being led by women of integrity, this will show you that. You'll see that Gretchen is such a woman of integrity. She's very real and raw and honest in this book, giving a lot of her thoughts and insights and things that she's seen. But the amazing thing is at the end or throughout, you can see how you can make an impact. You can make a difference. We don't have to just read the stories and be sad about them, like the things that she's seen, the stories that you're reading. We can see the stories of hope within the book, and you can even see how there's so much more potential for us to be part of more of those stories of hope. So I've been a partner for 6 years. It's my 6-year hope anniversary this month, June of. I joined June 2017, fresh out of college, like I said, and I have been so thankful and blessed to be part of it. I've been able to give so much more. I've been able to make such a huge impact on this world and on global poverty and trafficking just by building my own fair trade business. I didn't even have to put in a lot of money to do it. I just bought my join collection and got going, and I've been able to ramp it up a lot more in the past year. If you don't know already, I've been like involved in full-time ministry and missions. So I've had times where I'd have to scale it down and also scale it up. And right now I'm at a time where I've been able to scale it up. And I've really loved the impact that I've been able to make. But it doesn't matter like if I'm selling a lot or a little, like I'm making an impact either way. Literally every bracelet makes a difference. Like she was saying, like these cereal box bead bracelets make such an impact, like every piece. Even if you just sell one bracelet or you buy one thing, it all creates a ripple effect for change. So I think that was everything I wanted to share. I am going to drop the links and all of that for this book. You can grab it just today at that special promo. After that, it will be on Amazon for $14.95. And you won't get the coupon like for the next couple days. You can still get a $10 coupon, and it will be $10 to grab the book. But after that, it's going to go up to the price of $15, and no special coupon, but still really impactful and important, and a great book to add to your summer list, just to your reading list at any time. So thanks so much for tuning in. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Drop in the comments below. If you are going to be grabbing this book, I would love to know your thoughts on it, what you think of it once you're done reading it. And I just want to thank Gretchen again for popping in. Thanks so much to all of you for tuning in to this live and getting to hear from our founder live. So I can't wait to change the world with you. Bye.